Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Street Level Strategies. I am joined today by Stephen Magyar, Producing Branch Manager at Assurance Financial. How are you doing today, Stephen?
I'm great, Bobbi Jo. I'm grateful for the opportunity to be on and talk about some of the ways that Total Expert has been a win for me and for our branch here in Shreveport.
I love it. Okay, well, why don't you go ahead and just start off with a quick little introduction, if you're okay with that. Give us a little intro to who you are, and then we'll jump into today's conversation.
Sure. So I have been a mortgage loan officer for just under 9 years, all in Louisiana with a couple of different banks, independent mortgage banks, but got on with Assurance and opened up the branch for them about 4.5 years ago. I am a licensed attorney, but I don't practice law. Have found a great niche, being able to be in a related field, obviously working with title attorneys. It just kind of gives a great, additional perspective. And sometimes, people think, oh, okay, maybe that adds an element of trust. Maybe sometimes people think, I'm not so sure. But it's been a great, just preparation for the analytics that should be going into this kind of transaction for all kinds of home buyers, whatever stage of life they're in. But I'm married and have 2 kids. They're 7.5, 2.5. Lots of baseball games right now going on. A lot of toddlering going on. Can be a little loud around the house sometimes, but we have a lot of fun. Love to travel. Don't have family here in Shreveport, so we're always kind of on the move to go and see grandparents and cousins and all the good stuff.
I love it. Well, you don't have a lot going on, that's crazy.
No.
You still find time to do loans, crazy.
Yeah. Well, it's one of my favorite things about the industry is that we can be anywhere and getting the job done.
Yep.
And Assurance is such a great platform to with the infrastructure that we have to provide great support and processing and loan assistantship. And then folks who are up the chain as well that are always involved trying to help us get deals done, as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
So it works very well for a chaotic household.
For sure. And one of the things that was interesting you just said is you guys are always on the go, right? As a originator, you guys are always moving. You could be in a million other different states and in cars, and you're always in meetings and things. And so one of the cool things actually Assurance is, I know that you've leveraged it for a little bit now, but Assurance actually just implemented our new Engage SMS feature, right? So our two-way texting functionality, which has been cool. I don't know if you've had a ton of experience. I know it's recent, but any experience that you've had leveraging the tool?
Not yet with the SMS. I will admit and be perfectly transparent. The tech side of the mortgage business is not my greatest forte. So the things that Assurance does to help prop it up on our behalf are huge things for me because they're always generating something without me having to always be the one that pushes that out. We have had great experience, I think, recently. A lot to do with Total Expert involvement, and then some other tech pieces like our experience.com ratings that are helping push us up with SEO and getting a lot more inbound calls just for random applicants that are finding us because we are out there. And Total Expert is a big part of that.
Yeah, it's all about just getting your face out there, and then it's crazy how the lead generation that comes just from being prominent on social media and getting your face out there, making sure. And so that's kind of the power of these integration partners that we have to make sure that we're creating a seamless experience for you as a loan officer, but also just making sure that you guys have the greatest brand exposure that you guys possibly can.
Sure. It's and for me as a branch manager, it's a huge marketing tool. I mean, most places, especially companies our size, are smaller, which represents, kind of most of what's in our market. They don't have these kinds of tools, or whatever they do have, really pales in comparison. So I love being able to tout, hey, check this out. We're able to do so much with this. You don't have to pay for it. Anybody else who integrates with it, realtor partners or other referral sources, you don't have to do anything. You can get as much out of it as you want for free. It's pretty great.
It's a huge value add, the partnerships you're talking about. And also we talked a little bit about this, but your referral partners, you leverage Total Expert a lot to promote a value add to your referral partners. You want to
Yeah.
talk a little bit about how you approach that with your agents or your other referral sources? How are you getting total expert in front of them, and how do you approach that conversation?
Sure. So our in-house marketing team does an incredible job of putting out media that we're able to use across social media platforms or for print advertising or mailers or whatever. And so what I'll typically do, either with a new agent relationship or somebody that I've done a lot of business with, is to lead with this. It's like, hey, for whatever you are trying to do, I can come alongside as a free tool to do rate flyers, to do open house flyers, to do co-branded, whatever you want, we can create it and make you look great again and cost you a dime.
Yeah.
And so, we're constantly doing that. I'm encouraging other loan officers in the branch to do that. There's 3 additional folks in here with me. And so it helps people know, we're working whenever you're working. Sometimes that's on weekends. Sometimes that's after hours. But then we're also touching base with our shared customers, not only just through the loan process, because they're getting, push out for, hey, we've moved this milestone in your loan. But if it's somebody who's just on a journey of home ownership and maybe we're trying to work towards something, they are still getting the benefit of the tag every time that we reach out on an automated basis.
Yeah. And that's not only, I love that you said that the key value add that you start with is you start with the initial conversation of that we have a tool that you guys can use. Let me show you all the value adds and the things that, we can leverage together, but then the partnership. So beyond just some of the marketing tools, I loved what you just mentioned, because I think that not enough loan officers lead with this portion where it's, hey, because we have this automation tool in place, you are also going to get milestone updates when we move that borrower from, point A to point B. You're going to get updated. So they love it because agents are, up front and they're saying, hey, okay, thanks for letting me know. Right. But then also, right, just the communication of where we're at, you guys can, talk and make sure that they can know that you are going to continually nurture that client and they don't have to worry about it. So they know that they're trusting you, that you are going to have great communication with that borrower, that lead, whoever they've, handed over to you. And they can trust that. And that really helps create a stronger relationship. And I think not enough loan officers lead with that conversation. It's a really good talking point to have with your agent partners.
Yeah, the number one that any agent will say is I just want great communication. It's not just for me, it's to the borrower.
Yeah.
And I've had recent conversations with agents, even ones who, had borrowers that didn't decide to come in with us, even though we had better communication, better rate options, better fee options, a whole better structure. They were able to say, hey, wow, this is infinitely beyond what I would expect, even from my typical, loan officer partner. So these kinds of tools only help to solidify, things that we're doing just on a one-to-one, kind of basis, but have this stuff going in the background to get those touches through the loan process is a huge, huge benefit.
Yeah, it really helps solidify just the trust in you and makes them want to send additional business to you, which is all you can ask for these days, right? So,
that's right.
All right, let's talk a little bit about now pivoting here. Let's talk a little about customer intelligence, because I know this is a tool you guys have been leveraging for a bit. And one of my colleagues was out at your guys' conference recently and was talking with you about how you and your team are leveraging customer intelligence today. I know you've had a few really awesome success stories and things in working those. But when we talk about customer intelligence, we're talking, these are income generating leads, right?
Yes.
So let's talk a little bit about where are you seeing the value today? Where are you seeing the value, and are you pushing, customer intelligence with your team, and why? And then maybe your approach. So we'll start maybe with just the overall, where are you leveraging customer intelligence today and seeing value from CI?
Yeah, so our CEO, Kenny Hodges, is a huge proponent of this, as long as it's a tool that's available, within the industry. Everybody else is using it, so we should be doing the same.
Yep.
Because if we're not, then we're losing deals. We're losing past customers, which is no fun when refinance opportunities arise, or when the purchase market shifts because of rate changes. Then we want to be top of mind. And so I if a lead, comes in, whether it is because of a mortgage inquiry or a rate alert, or a listing alert or anything like that, and I think that those are the main ones that we're monitoring, is that is a drop and call, opportunity. And the way that I'm coaching our folks to do it is that we're doing a mortgage check-in. We're checking in with the customer. They still have a need, right? We all have needs, whether we've just purchased a home, a couple of months ago. Life can change. Maybe we get a job transfer or something like that. And so the house has had to go on the market much sooner than expected. Okay, well, now I can jump in and have a conversation. Here are the implications. You went in with a minimum down payment option. Here's how we need to coach with the realtor to make sure that you are not losing your equity position as you transition. So just a couple of specific stories. One of our other loan officers had pre-approved a buyer, months prior, and they were in a different state where we're licensed to originate. And so he gets an alert because that person has had their credit pulled for mortgage purposes. And so reached out, checking in. Oh, I didn't even know that you were licensed in this state, because we had previously been talking about Louisiana. Now I'm thinking East Texas, which Shreveport and the Tyler, East Texas, were right there. And so we were able to get that borrower under contract, and we closed the loan. In my instance, I had a situation with a buyer several months ago who we learned a little bit more about his employment situation. It was more of a self-employed type of situation than was originally presented to us. And so it caused me not to be able to do the loan. Had to bring in another banking partner that was able to get it closed. But because of CI, I get an alert, credit's being pulled. I reach out, hey man, just checking in. We wanted to touch base. Are you looking to do something new? I know that you talked about investment properties. Yeah, I'm thinking about doing that, but I know that it was a little challenging the last time. I said, well, hey, we've got a product that I think may make a lot of sense for you. And it's in the non-QM space to where, for somebody who doesn't, have 2 years of self-employed history, or maybe their debt to income is a little out of whack because they went and bought 4 investment properties last year, this non-QM product. Now he knows that he can go out and buy with us just pulling credit, verifying that he is a current homeowner and investor. And all we have to do is make sure that the house is going to rent for more than his payment is. And his mind was just blown. And I just, hey man, this is the greatest thing. I never knew about it. Thank you so much. So where some people might find it an awkward conversation to have with someone who maybe they haven't touched base with in a number of months, or maybe it's been longer than that, but just reaching out and checking in to ask them, hey, what are you up to? What can I help with? Creates and stimulates a conversation that's going to lead to opportunities. And for that type of product, they can really purchase, in our market, an unlimited amount on it, as long as they've got cash for a down payment. For sure. So it's going to be a huge win for him. He's out actively looking. He is working with my best realtor referral partner. And so that agent knows what we are doing for him. Now that agent can share that with additional customers who may be looking or maybe in similar situations. So it's a great tool that is one of those stop, drop, and roll moments anytime that we see something come through, and then just creating a conversation. And there's never anything bad that can come out of that.
Yeah, I love that you said that, because I think some people get, and we talked about this earlier, but can get freaked out by it. Like, what do I say? What do I do? And so we talked about, like, some people approach it just straight on. They're like, hey, got this alert. I've actually seen a lot of people have success in what you're saying of, it's just a relationship point, right? You're just saying, hey, it's a stop, drop, and roll. You get this alert, you reach out. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. It could be, hey, I'm, just want to check in and see how things are going. But all of them, right? And one of the cool things you said too in the beginning was, this is your past client database. So these are people that know you. Right. And if you're keeping in touch with them, as you likely should be, right? We're not all perfect, but as you should be. I mean, this should be an easy phone call. It
Yeah.
should be an easy text, right? So making sure that when that happens, approaching it quickly, and making sure that we're getting on top of those, and then also just reaching out. It's a quick, hey, how are you going? How are things doing? How can I support you? And
That's right.
and going on, which I love that you're coaching your team in that way. But I love hearing the wins, and I love hearing how people are truly seeing this is an income generating tool, right? And so you have these alerts, they're coming to you, and it's an easy phone call, an easy win. So I love that you and you're coaching your team to do so, and you also are reaping the benefits of it as well. That's awesome.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Well, grateful for y'all and all the support that you give.
Of course.
It was a great privilege to meet Tatum at our sales conference, and we're grateful that you guys support us. And in turn, we're going to do good by, using all of the stuff as overwhelming as it can be sometimes, but having a dedicated marketing team, to help us sort through and determine, hey, let's have a conversation about what's most important, how you want to reach your customers, and then set up experiences within the framework of Total Expert that are really catered to an individual and how they want to work and what they want to see out of it. It's a great partnership. So we're thoroughly grateful.
Well, we love our Assurance Financial folks. So Stephen, I really appreciate you jumping on, talking about this. I know other folks will too. So thank you, and keep killing it. You're doing a great job. We loved hearing these stories. So we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks for your time today, Bobbi Jo.
All right. Thanks, Stephen.